Miss Shannon, why won't you stay here with me in Utah?
No can do. I gotta get back to New York City.
Oh, but I got me a fine ranch.
Now why would I want to stay on a dusty old ranch when I can live in luxury?
Well, I got me a whole mess of hogs.
Now why would I want to sleep where there's a bunch of hogs?
Well, I could get you away from that there city slicker. But you were to be my one and only true.
You got a deal.
Hello and welcome to Random Movie Time. Today's feature is the 1991 animated classic, An American Tale, Fievel Goes West, directed by Phil Nibbelink and Simon Wells, and starring the voices of Philip Glasser, Amy Irving, John Cleese, Dom DeLuise, and James Stewart. So this tells the tale of a young mouse from New York City in the 1800s, whose family decides to move west to Utah to seek their fortune, and after some misadventures getting there on the way, everything seems to be going pretty well until it all turns out to be an evil scheme by a group of very mischievous cats. Well, what did you think of this movie, Shannon?
I thought it was very entertaining. It was really good. I mean, I think it kind of stands up over time, with the exception of one little bit that I'll mention in a minute. But it's the sequel to the original American Tale, which was quite a big hit. I remember seeing that original one when I was younger. I've never had the chance to see this one, but I'm glad I did. I think it's really, the animation is really incredible. They used cell animation. I guess it was originally Don Bluth was originally signed on to do the film, but there was some he decided to not take on the project after all. But many of the animators who had worked under him and mentored under him had done the project, had worked on the film, so you can see those influences definitely. And the voice acting is incredible. It's really well done and really heartwarming story. You really feel for these little mice. It's funny, in real life we can't stand mice, but in this movie it's so cute. So there you go. I like the fact that even though it's a children's movie, they don't dumb it down at all. There are a lot of scary bits in there, and maybe that's a bit of a reality check for little kids, but they don't hold back, And I guess Spielberg was he was the producer of the film. So the short-lived Amblimation Studio which was Steven Spielberg's studio that they set up to do actually Who Framed Roger Rabbit. So the animators who worked on Who Framed Roger Rabbit, I guess he started Amblimation Studio so he could continue working with them. And that was the studio that worked on this film. Really good quality. I mean, Roger Rabbit animation was amazing, so you can imagine what this film was like in that way. And it's really full of puns. It's very punny. So if you like puns, you'll like this film. I like puns if they're clever, and I found that this was not, it wasn't really dad jokey pun, although it was at sometimes, but some of them were really, really clever, and it made me laugh. One issue I have with it, though, is that it's really dated. I mean, this came out in 91. There's one segment, I guess the B story of the film, where they have a group of kind of indigenous people, mice, and they're talking, and they act like hooligan barbarians kind of. They act like this really stereotypical kind of tribal with the howl and the wah wah wah, and the
cannibalism,
and yeah, it's really, really bad. And I'm surprised that they play it I'm surprised they play the movie on. I think we watched this on what was it? Disney Plus?
I think it was Netflix.
Oh, was it Netflix? Okay.
I don't remember.
I'm surprised that they put this on there because it really puts indigenous peoples in a bad light. But
indigenous mice, anyway.
Indigenous mice. Oh yeah. Well, in this movie, mice are people.
Yeah.
So, but other than that, a real delight, and of course, it was successful enough that they made a video game, apparently, a Nintendo. They put it out on the Nintendo Entertainment System, so that's pretty funny. And yeah, of course, like, how can you go wrong? John Cleese, Jimmy Stewart, like, Dom DeLuise, some really, really good actors there. What do you think, Tommy?
Yeah, I really liked it. There's a whole whack of 90s kids movies, which I never saw because, I was in my 20s at the time, didn't have kids, so I just felt like, oh, well, I'm not going to watch these kids movies. But really, I was quite surprised. I'd always liked Don Bluth animation. As you were saying, he quit this movie partway through, but you can't tell. It just looks like the same super high quality animation all the way through. And I'd liked him when I was a kid with The Secret of Nim. That was his big breakout.
I love that one.
Yeah. And that was just, I guess he was an ex-Disney employee and he wanted to go back to the old ways and start concentrating on higher quality animation again, like Disney used to be known for. And yeah, it's really beautiful, really expressive, very inventive action sequences, really crazy. Somewhat questionable scene involving Native American mice, as you were saying, which I don't think would have been filmed the same way today at all. But pretty engaging story, pretty fun. I really liked a lot of the voice actors, John Cleese in particular. He's always been a favorite of mine. Dom DeLuise was really good as the fat cat. And just a high quality kids movie, the kind we don't see enough of anymore. I really, really like this one. Mm-hmm. Well, Shannon, how many cork pistols would you give this one out of 5?
I'll give it a 3.5, just because it's there was a bit of questionable content, and it was really, really enjoyable. But you know what? Maybe I'll amend it. I'll give it a 4 because it's really good quality and it really stands up. And apart from that, from those questionable scenes, I think anybody would really, really have a good time with this film. How about you, Tommy? Same thing. 4 cork pistols out of 5. Really good movie, really entertaining. And I think this is a good one for the whole family. Even adults will like it a lot. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I guess we'd better mosey on out of here, partner. But we'll see you next time on Random Movie Time.